In the last video, we talked about how to manage stress at work during holiday season. And in today's video, I want to talk with you about a topic that might feel really relevant and very related to this topic as well. Because in today's video, I want to talk with you about how to manage difficult relationships during holiday season. Something that might actually create a lot of stress with you. So in today's video, I want to share a couple of different techniques with you in order to stay calm and relaxed during holiday season with your family. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia Arndt, and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer. And I am really excited to talk with you today about a couple of different techniques on how to manage stress with difficult family members during holiday season. So sit back and relax. We have a couple of different topics to talk about, and I hope you find something relevant in this video today that you can apply over the next couple of weeks. First of all, it's going to be an interesting year, right? Because we don't even know if we're going to be able to travel this year, if we're going to be able to see our family. So I really hope that that's not going to create too much stress for you. And always remember, we have to focus on the things that we can control, and we need to let go of the things that we cannot control. So no matter what is going to happen this year, I hope it's going to be still a good, happy holiday season for you. And this leads me into the topic and into the first technique that I want to share with you today when it comes to managing difficult relationships. It is really important that you are clear that you always have the option to set boundaries. Something that you might not have really been aware of or that nobody has ever reminded you of, but when it comes to difficult relationships, if you are really, really uncomfortable, maybe because something really bad happened in the past with this person, know that you always have an option out, that you always have an option to set boundaries, and that you have the power and that you have the choice to say if you actually want to spend time with that family member or not. I know this might sound a little bit harsh, but at the end of the day, it is the reality, because you need to do what's right for you. And if it feels really uncomfortable to spend time with a specific person during holiday season, and it really puts you under so much emotional distress, then set boundaries. Be really clear with the people around you how you feel and what you need in order to feel better about yourself. But I know that this sometimes can be really difficult to do. So if you need to spend time with this person during holiday season, then here are a couple of techniques that you can apply that hopefully will help you start thinking about the situation a little bit differently. First of all, I want you to think about being compassionate. Compassion, especially during holiday season, of course, is a really important topic that we need to talk about. And when we are practicing compassion and empathy, we need to put ourselves in the other person's shoes. So a really good question here that you could ask yourself is the person that you might be struggling with right now, how are they actually doing? What kind of experiences did they have in their lives? Why are they maybe the person that they are today, right? Maybe they had a really difficult upbringing, or they had a really difficult time in their lives over the last couple of months. And that is probably the reason why they are the person that they are today. So when we are practicing compassion, it can be really, really powerful to put ourselves in the shoes of that other person. And that might help us to shift a little bit our perspective and see it from a different angle, right? So practicing compassion is really, really important for you and for the other person as well. And you know what? It always starts with yourself. We oftentimes think that if only the other person would change, then you would feel so much better, right? This is such a simple thing, right? If only this other person would just behave the way you would like them to behave. Unfortunately, that is not the case in most of the cases, right? So it is really important that you take that power back and that you think about, what can I actually change? What is something that I can do in order to create a healthier relationship with this person? What is something that I can change? Because maybe you have a certain habit and a certain behavior around this person as well, okay? So this is really, really important to remember. The second technique that I want to share with you today is as equally as important as the first one, and it is all about forgiveness. Especially when we're talking about holiday season and spending time with our loved ones, Forgiveness is a super, super important topic because, again, when we are practicing forgiveness, we actually let go of the past and we create a new future. But oftentimes, we let experiences in the past and those emotions that are connected with that influence on how we behave today. So this is something that you should totally be aware of, because we oftentimes create the same experiences because we are connected to those emotions that were created in the past. And if we start to practice forgiveness, we can let go of the past. And I know that it is sometimes pretty difficult, especially when we're holding a grudge against somebody because they really did something that was not really nice. And so I highly encourage you to watch another video on my YouTube channel, which is the 3 biggest misconceptions about forgiveness, which I am pretty sure is going to be a super helpful video for you, because there's oftentimes misconceptions about forgiveness. Like, for example, we think that the other person needs to forgive us first before we can forgive them. Or we feel like if we forgive the person, we basically acknowledge and say that it is okay what they did to us, which is totally not the case. So make sure to check out that video and make sure that, especially during this time of the year, you practice forgiveness and you move from the past into the present moment and you ask yourself, how can you change your behavior? The final technique that I want to share with you today is reaction versus response. Something that is really important when we're going into interacting with other people, because oftentimes, because we have already created these stories about our experiences with that person, we are very quick at reacting. But when you create a little bit of awareness, you actually have the power to create a little bit of a gap between that stimulus, right? That stimulus of that person in question. And it gives us a little bit more space to decide on how you want to react. So this is a really powerful tool and technique that comes from stress management and that I hope is really helpful for you this time around. So when you are creating this awareness, which you are already doing because you're watching this video right now, you have to ask yourself the question, maybe how can I react differently, or what can I do differently in order to create a new experience with this person? It could, for example, be that you're asking this person a couple of different questions, right? Like, how are you doing? What have you been doing over the last couple of weeks? And that you are showing genuine interest in this person. This is really important. The other thing that you can do in order to create a new experience is to be compassionate with this person, to be helpful with this person, to understand this person better. So, it is really important that you are changing your behavior, because you are never going to change the other person's behavior. But it is really powerful to see how a person responds differently when you are starting to change your behavior. So test this out and break the cycle. I hope you found this video helpful today. If you have any questions, make sure to leave me any comments down below and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content, and I hope to see you in the next video.